Ever wonder why two strains with the same THC level hit totally different? It's the terpenes, man. And today, we're going to show you how to bring more of them out of your grow. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by Real Growers Recharge. If you want stronger, healthier plants, if you want bigger roots for better fruits, you gotta check out Real Growers Recharge. It's like an instant compost tea that holds more nutrients at your root zone, breaks those nutrients down, and makes them more plant available, getting more of your nutrients into your plants. Find out more about Recharge over at realgrowers.com. And while you're there, use coupon code Scotty420 to get 20% off your first order. Now let's get back to the show. All right, High C, come on, let's get into this one. Everybody loves terpene weed.
Okay, help me understand before we even jump into it, what exactly are terpenes?
Terpenes are what you're smelling, okay? Cannabinoids are like THC and CBD. Those are in that trichome, and they're in that trichome. They take the lion's share of that trichome up. And then the terpenes are the smells. Those are that lemony smell, or the what am I trying to think? Like a spicy, is that caryophyllene, or the pine. And those are all from terpenes.
And so when you say like pine, citrus,
sure.
So are these terpenes, are they in other plants as well? Then?
Totally. You can get the same terpenes. That's why it's a little shady with those botanically derived terpenes from squeezing orange peels, or like pine sol has that pinene terpene in it. So these aren't exclusive to cannabis, but I will warn you, the best expression we can get is when these terpenes are synthesized in the plant and in the trichome. They have spray-on terps. Don't do it, man.
Okay, so naturally occurring terpenes is what we're talking about.
No, cannabis-derived terpenes. You can get natural occurring terpenes from pine needles.
Gotcha, okay. All right, so cannabis-derived terpenes is what we're talking about. And why does it matter? Because I have noticed it does matter. It's
it matters
not
a lot.
just the THC.
You know, the THC is like distillate. Distillate is 100% THC. And I don't know if you ever tried distillate. It doesn't do much at all. It is, they call it the entourage. Or what is the entourage? The people that hang out with you, the people that are around you. Those terpenes that are around those cannabinoids complement them. And so that's really what gives you the lion's share of the medicinal effect. Yes, the actual, medicine or the drug for that matter is in the THC or the CBD. Those are the cannabinoids, but the terpenes express those. That's what really makes it work.
So it's not just about smell or flavor. It's also about how it complements the THC.
Yes, don't make me say synergy, bro. And the thing to keep in mind about terpenes is they're only hydrogen and carbon bonded together. That's why I always tell you, relax on the fancy nutrients. They're not made up of fancy nutrients. They're made out of hydrogen from water, H2O, and carbon from CO2. They're joined together, and it's just different shapes, different numbers of hydrogen and carbons that make these terpenes, but they're not super complicated. So we just want to make sure that we keep our plant healthy with enough CO2 to be able to join those and make those hydrogen and carbons into terpenes.
Okay, let's talk about some of the different terpenes and the different ways that they express themselves.
Yes, we do the mono and the sesqua. Monoterpenes are the lighter ones. They have less hydrogen and less carbon in there, so they're just easier to volatilize off. It's easier to go in your room and you smell those first.
Okay. And what are some of those, and what's the smell and flavor associated with them?
Myrcene is like that musky smell that you get. Limonene is the citrus.
Okay.
Pinene. Guess what that one stands for?
Pine?
Like pine sol. Linalool. That's one that you ever smell like it's like lavender kind of.
Okay,
so those are your monoterpenes, and there's a couple more, but those are the ones that will volatilize really quickly. Look at me getting all technical. And then there's the sesquiterpenes. That's the beta caryophyllene. That's that spicy one. That the humulene, like earthy, basically. I'm terrible at identifying these terpenes. Okay, but those are heavier. They just have more hydrogen and more carbon. The atom molecules on them, I should say. And so they're just a little bit harder to, or they'll stay on the plant.
Not as quick to volatile.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about how to grow for maximum terpenes possible.
Sure. Okay, first one, simple, genetics. You're never going to outgrow your genetic potential. So if you want something super terpy, super frosty, make sure you're getting a strain that is known for its terps and its frost.
Okay, so assuming I've got my genetics in check, I've got the right genetics for high terpene cannabis, what's some other things I should keep in mind?
If you're trying to bring out terpenes, cooler nighttime temperatures will bring out terpenes. Light, we can, light's always fun to talk about, but first off, just a bunch of PPFD. Don't forget, light is the energy. We're trying to fuse that hydrogen and that carbon. That takes energy, so the more light we get, the better we're going to do that. And then there's those other stressor lights. UVB is a really good one, as where terpenes are inside that trichome. It's terpenes and cannabinoids. So as a response to the plant getting UVB, it is going to fill those trichomes up with more terpenes and cannabinoids.
Okay, and I've heard that there's ways that you can actually boost with like additives, terpene boosters.
Yeah, there are some things that will work. A specific amino acids. What we're trying to do is stress the plant. Don't forget, terpenes are the smell that is trying to make to attract a pollinator, something to come over there and get some pollen on it and bring it to another plant. It's also producing smells that repel pests. So the idea is, if we can get it stimulated to make more of these terpenes, there's certain stress responses we can do. So remember we talk about chitosan?
Chitosan, yeah, it tricks the plant into thinking that there's a pest around.
Yep, yeah, it thinks that it's identifying the exoskeleton of some kind of bug, and so it elicits this stress response that triggers more of the jasmonic acid pathways, and jasmonic acid is what makes those terpenes, what helps synthesize those terpenes. So yeah, there's hormones that they'll use. A lot of this stuff is, the black box where they don't really tell you what's in it with some of these products. But yeah, they're elicitors. They elicit a response. Hey, we did just cover this on the last video, but it's super important. I want to say it again. Terpenes are volatile. They will volatilize off with heat. They will degrade with light and with air. So really preserve those terpenes, man. They're fragile. Remember, you dry in a dark space with the right temperature. You cure in a dark place in the right temperature with the absence of air. It's really important because these terpenes really are responsible for the different effects you're going to get from the different strains. So you have to preserve them. But those are just my best tips for growing the terpiest plants possible. Come on, but what about you? I know you got some. Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, you got to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come on, share this video with another grower you know. And most importantly, check out the other couple of videos YouTube's recommending. We think you'll dig them.